on expanding single brackets, and we're starting with a simple example and going all the way to a bit more complicated things. Now, the first thing to keep in mind in regards to expanding single brackets is the term on the outside, which is usually going to be a constant, sometimes a constant with a letter, so it would be a variable. Whatever is outside needs to make sure it acts like a lock and key to everything on the inside. So every single term on the outside needs to multiply with every single term on the inside. To do that, we're going to start with doing 4 times 2a, and then, so this is when the 4 multiplies with the 2a, and then the 4 will be multiplying with the 7. So we end up with having 4 times 2a, which is 8a, and 4 times 7, which is a 28. This is in regards to our first example. All right? Always keep in mind, everything on the outside, make sure to multiply with everything on the inside. This is our second example. This is going to be 7x multiplying with 3x and multiplying with 12. Same rule as before. The 7x needs to first multiply with the 3x, and on the second run needs to multiply with the 12. So it's going to start out with 7x times 3x. That's the first part. And then it's going to be 7x times 12. Now notice there are no negative signs here. The negative signs have a rule on their own, which we will be seeing later. In regards to multiplying this is just going to be 21. And since it is x times x, this would make it an x squared. And in regards to the next part, it is going to be 7 times 12, which is an 84, and then just x. We have an x here, it just moves over down here. The 7 multiplies with the 12. There are no letters behind the 12, so that's fine. Now for our next example, now notice this one involves a negative sign, first of all. Second of all, there are 3 terms inside the parentheses. This means our negative 4 needs to be multiplying with each term in the parentheses. And always keep in mind, this negative 4 is working in a way where the minus goes wherever the 4 goes. So in regards to doing this, we will be starting out with negative 4 times 2a. That's our first step. Our second step is going to be negative 4 times 4b. And our third step will be negative 4 times negative 3. In this case, the negative sticks to the 3. It cannot part ways from it. Now let's go ahead and just continue it to simplify the terms. Minus 4 times 2a, minus 4 times 2 is a minus 8, and we put an a on the back. And then the next part is going to be minus 4 times 4b, which means minus 16b. There is only one letter in this case, which is the b, so we put the b. And for the last part of it, it is minus 4 times minus 3. Minus times minus gives us a plus. 4 times 3 is a 12. We cannot do anything here. We cannot combine like terms. These are all unlike terms since they use either different letters or they are a letter and a constant. A and B are unlike because of different terms, and 12 is a constant, so nothing can be combined here. For our last example, it will be a multi-step question where we have to do both expanding and then collecting like terms if we have the same letter. So let's go ahead and start. We are going to start with 3 times 4x, and then 3 times 7y, and then 3 times 2. The reason why we have 3 arrows is because we have 3 terms inside the parentheses. And then in regards to the next part of it, we're going to do minus 2 times x and minus 2 times 3y. This is also expanding, but this time around it's 2 arrows because we only have 2 terms inside the parentheses. And for the last part, it is just minus 7 plus 2x. There are no parentheses, so no expanding will be required. We will just write the terms as is. Now, let's start and do this. We have 3 times 4x and 3 times 7y and 3 times 2. The next part of it is our next parentheses. Notice this minus 2 acts as one unit. Wherever the 2 goes, the minus goes. So it's going to be minus 2 times x and minus 2 times 3y. And now for the last part, we are just going to copy the terms as is because there is no calculation to do. So this is going to start with giving us 3 times 4x is 12x, 3 times 7y is 21y, 3 times 2 is 6. For the next part, minus 2 times x is just minus 2x, and minus 2 times 3y is minus 6y. And then we just write the rest of it, minus 7 plus 2x. Now, as a recommendation, if you notice here, we have many terms of similar type. What I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is highlight the terms which are like. So 12x minus 2x and 2x are all like terms, as well as 21y and minus 6y are like terms, and we're going to have 6 and minus 7 to be like terms. I'm also going to write it in a way where I arrange it so that the like terms are next to each other. So first I'm going to write 12x. This is a 21y, this is a 6, don't count. Minus 2x, it uses x, so it's like. Plus 2x, once again, uses x, so it's a like term. Next up, I'm going to write my y's. We have plus 21y and minus 6y. These are all variables in terms of y, so they are like terms. And then for the last part, I am going to write plus 6 minus 7. These are my constants. They are like terms. And now I'm just going to write my final answer. 12 minus 2 is a 10. 10 plus 2 is back to a 12. This is 12x. 21y minus 6y will be giving me a 15y. And plus 6 minus 7 gives me a minus 1. And this is my final answer where I reduced to find the simplified form with like terms. So simplifying or reducing is just collecting like terms. And the expanding part was done using the blue arrows and the red arrows.